Hello everyone. Today we begin chapter number 2, Foundation of Machine Learning in Physiotherapy. This chapter is the base for all upcoming chapters. If you understand today's lecture well, you will be able to evaluate any artificial intelligence tool in physiotherapy, whether it is a wearable app, a telerehabilitation system, or a movement analysis performance. I am also want to share a safety message at the start of this chapter. This is a safety message. A model is not useful just because it has high accuracy. A model is useful only if it is valid, safe, and generalized to a real patient. So that it must be a valid, it must be a safe, it must be a generalized. Valid mean tested on appropriate patient population. Safe mean it does not produce harmful recommendations. And generalization mean work beyond the training data sets. We have some learning outcome in this chapter. At the end of this chapter, a lecture, you will be able to learn to define the machine learning and explain how it is different from general artificial intelligence. You will explain the supervised and unsupervised reinforcement learning with the physiotherapy example. Explain the full machine learning pipeline from the clinical question to the deployment. Explain the validation, outfitting, and generalization in clinical context, and explain why wearable sensor and home monitoring drive machine learning growth in rehabilitation setting. So we have 5 learning outcome of this chapter. Why does machine learning matter in a physiotherapy? Let's start with the reality we all see in a physiotherapy. Most rehabilitation happen outside of the clinic. A patient perform home exercise like stairs, walking practice without supervision. If they perform incorrect exercise technique, may reinforce poor movement patterns. That's lead to poor adherence, delay recovery, and increase the risk of re-injury. But the machine learning convert the movement data from the wearable and cameras into objective pattern. It enable movement adherence and exercise quality at home without constant clinical presence. But the second reality is also important. For this, the second reality, the variability problem. We know that human movement varies widely with pain, fatigue, age, and disability. So that compensation pattern differ between individuals. The simple rules fail to capture the complex nonlinear relationship, and so our model must be evaluated carefully to avoid failure in real setting. Next, we have a roadmap of the today lecture. We have 4 part. Part A. In part A, we will discuss about what is machine learning. Machine learning in which we define about AL versus ML. Rule-based versus learning system. Next, in part B, we learn about a type of machine learning, supervised, unsupervised, and reinforced, and what is the physiotherapy example. Next, in part C, we will discuss about machine learning pipeline. We have 7 small steps from clinical question, clinical question to deployment of the machine learning. And in part number D, we will discuss about evaluation and the safety, in which we will discuss about metrics, outfitting, generalization, and activities. What is the machine learning, in which we will discuss about what is the machine learning, what is the machine learning in artificial intelligence. What is it? Artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a broad term for a system that perform tasks that normally require human intelligence. Machine learning, for example, it has reasoning, problem solving, language recognition, and perception. And what is machine learning? Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence, and in which a system learn pattern from the data instead of being performed with a fixed rule. And the system improve automatically through the experience. In a physiotherapy context, machine learning usually means learning pattern from the movement moment signal, image, and clinical outcome, so that the system can classify, predict, and summarize the patient progress in a rehabilitation setting. But why machine learning is not the same as rule based logic? And now I want to clearly understand the difference between rule based system and machine learning. This is a rule based system and this is a machine learning. The rule based system, a human expert write explicit rules. For example, if knee valgus is more than threshold, mark squat as incorrect. This is not machine learning, this is a human writing rule. This rule must be updated manually when the exception appear, fail with the individual movement variability, and cannot be handled with a linear relationship in a complex patterns. But machine learning say that we will collect many example of squat, then we label it as a correct or incorrect, and the model learn these patterns. Or this pattern will learn from the data so that it adapt to the variability without manual rule update. It handles the individual difference in the moment naturally and capture complex and non-linear relationship in a sensor data. So that it is useful because human movement is a complex and relationship between feature and outcome are not non-linear. We have key insight is that the we have key insight is that the human moment is a complex and nonlinear, and machine learning is a powerful because it discover pattern from the data that is too complex for the human written rule to capture. Especially it is important in a rehabilitation where every patient move differently. Next one is a type of machine learning. We have different type of machine learning. Number one is a supervised learning. What is supervised learning? Supervised learning, the model learn from the labeled example. We provide input data and correct output data labeled. The machine learn to predict the label for new and unseen inputs. For example, um, we have a physiotherapy example, but we learn that first we collect the movement data, then expert labeling it, and then we train the model, and this learning can predict a new data for unseen patient or new patient for new unseen inputs. What is the physiotherapy example? We know that we can use an inertial sensor signal for a patient performing a home exercise. A physiotherapist label each repetition correctly. Either it is fast or low amplitude or incorrect. The physiotherapist can label it, and then the model learn to classify future repetition. The model train on these labeled example and classify the future repetition automatically. It recognize the exercise and then classify the exercise quality and give prediction of the outcome. This is a supervised learning. What is the next one? Second is unsupervised learning. The unsupervised learning is defined as no label is provided. The model search the hidden pattern, structure, and group into the data on its own, discovering the neutral grouping without human guidance. This model use cluster pattern, compensation normal. For example, In a physiotherapy application, we identify the moment subgroup in a gait analysis. First, we develop a cluster for gait pattern. Then we group the patient according to the compensation, and then we add some normal gait pattern groups, so that we discover the hidden pattern and recovery trajectories, cluster the exercise quality profile without predefined levels. In this, we have some clinical cautions. Clustering are the mathematical group. They are not automatically or clinically grouping. Result may always interpret by a trained clinician, and unsupervised result need a clinical validation before use in a practice. So that in a physiotherapy, unsupervised learning can be used to identify the movement group, for example, grouping a gait pattern or identifying the cluster or compensation strategies. But unsupervised result must be interpreted carefully because cluster are not automatically clinically diagnosed. Next one is a reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is defined as the learning learn through the trial and feedback. The system take an action and receive reward. Reward means positive or penalty and negative. In improving behavior over many iteration. In a rehabilitation setting, reinforcement learning may appear in a robotic rehabilitation system, intelligent coaching system like gamified exercise, prosthetic limb control optimization. Um, we have some safety alerts. Unsafe exploration is not acceptable in healthcare. We must consider with the safety boundaries before clinical use, currently limit to the research and tightly supervised setting. So that we learn this through trial and feedback system. Either reward, we have some agent, then we perform a task in a patient, and then we give a penalty or the rewards. Next one is the pipeline in a physiotherapy. The machine learning pipeline, we have a 7-step machine learning pipeline in a physiotherapy. Now this pipeline is most important part of the today lecture because it helps to judge any machine learning system you see in a practice. The pipeline, number one is a clinical question, and number 2 is a data collection, number 3 is ground truth labeling, number 4 is the pre-processing, number 5 is feature engineering, 6 is train, validate, treat, test, and the deployment of the monitor. Then each step must be aligned with the clinical question and drift from the question to invalidate the pipeline. The pipeline illustrate because problem found in evaluation often required revising the earlier step. The clinical safety depend on the validation at each step, not just finally accuracy matters. Metrics. And the step number 1, define the clinical question clearly. If the clinical question is unclear, the system become unless even if the model is technically advanced. We have different example of different questions. This is a question, this is also a question, this is a question. This question is about can we detect whether patient perform low back exercise correctly at home? We get input, either it is a correct, incorrect, or type of error, so that we can put this question into a classification type. The next question is can we predict improvement in a walking speed of 6 week of stroke rehabilitation? We get input is a continuous values, for example, meter per second improvement in the speed, so that we have a regression type of data. Then next one is question is regarding can we identify the natural subgroup of patient with similar gait compensation pattern, so that we get output from like patient group labeled no predefined categories, so that we put some cluster, so that this is a clustering of the data. So this is how to you from these questions you can easily understand how we define the clinical question. Then next step is a data collection in a physiotherapy. How we collect data when we first step is a clinical question. If our clinical question is a clear, so that we will move toward next step is a data collection in a physiotherapy. The In a physiotherapy machine learning, we commonly use different type of data collection tools like wearable sensors, EMG sensor, and camera and pose estimation. For example, if we use inertial moment units like wearable sensors, for example, if we calculate, we get data of linear acceleration of any for the movement of the body. Then we use accelerometer. If we calculate the we want to get data of angular velocity, then gyroscope will be used. Then orientation, for orientation we use magnetometer. Worn on the These variable sensor are worn on the body segment where we segment of the interest, where we which segment we from which we get data, we want to get data. So that we have some EMG sensor. They this is a surface electromyography. We measure the muscle activation patterns. It is used for the muscle coordination studies. We have some challenges to use the EMG sensor, like we need to skin preparation. We must be use correct placement with accuracy. Next one is a camera pose estimation. We can where we capture the video or capture a pose at home or a clinic. The pose estimation track the joints position, which position we employed, what type of challenge we face, like occlusion, camera placement. The privacy may be considered for home use. We have some systematic review of wearable sensor in the machine learning in a rehabilitation describe how wearable sensor collect the movement, muscles, nerve data, and machine learning interpreted pattern to a monitor recovery. So this is a data collection in a physiotherapy. Next one is a step 3 is a ground truth and labeling. In this step, we must be correctly label or reference the value the model is trained to predict. We have common ground for the physiotherapy, ground truth source in the physiotherapy. Physiotherapist expert labeling is a gold standard tool. For example, standardized functional test like 10-meter walk or TUG walk test. These are the standardized functional test. For example, we have 3D motion capture. This is a laboratory references. The force plate measurement or the patient record outcome measure like passive range of motions. These are the common ground test source in the physiotherapy. This means the correct label or reference value the model is supposed to learn. In a physiotherapy, ground truth often come from the physiotherapy expert labeling or standardized test. They have some challenging in the human that can a clinician or the physiotherapist may agree or borderline cases. For example, inter-rater variability or the model learn whether the pattern the label show, including the humor error. We have some reliability challenges. Reliability challenge in the reliability challenge, whether there is a poor reliability in labeling, either the clinician agree or disagree, or broadline cases. For example, the either it including the human error or not. The solution of the reliability challenge is we must clearly labeling the criteria inter-rater reliability check like ICC and CAPTA. We must follow the principle a machine learning model is only as good as the quality of its label. If you put garbage in, then you get garbage out. This is especially critical in the healthcare system, where poor label could lead to unsafe recommendation for the patient. So that ground trust and labeling must be a good. And if you like garbage in and garbage out. The step number 4 is processing. The processing signal. We have some devices or data we got either from variable sensor, from variable processing solution, or from the mm so that if we have some video or camera problem, we have some variable processing solution are the core potential goal for clinical signal clearance. What is the variable signal problem? There are some sensor noise, for example high frequency random errors, baseline drift, for example slow outset changing over time, moment artifact from cable or sensor movement, missing data from the sensor disconnection, and calibration error between devices. Our video camera problem, lightning variability, shadow or overexposure occlusion, body part may be hidden behind the another, the camera placement inconsistent between the sensors, or the background cluster interfering with the pose estimation. So that we have some solution, variable processing solution, low pass filtering to remove the high frequency noise, high pass filtering to remove the DC drift, and the segmentation is used to time window per repetition, and normalization is used to remove the remove between the object variation, and interpolation used for the short gap for the data. So the core processing goal is to remove the noise and artifacts so that model learn the movement pattern, not sensor error or the environmental variation. Clean data dramatically improve the model performance and generalization. So that pre-processing help to remove the artifact so that model learn the movement pattern, not a sensor error. In a time series signal, pre-processing often include filtering and segmentation into a time window. Next one is a feature engineering or pre-presentation learning. What is the first we must decide whether we use feature engineering or representation learning. Feature engineering means human calculate meaningful feature from our a meaningful feature from a raw data, like peak angular velocity of the moment variability, like standard deviation, range of motion, giant angle, temporal feature like duration or the cadence, and frequency feature like dominant frequency. It has some advantages. It can be clinically interpretable. It requires less data. It preferred in a physiotherapy practice, easier to validate clinically. So if we use representation learning, it is used deep learning from raw data. डीप लर्निंग मॉडल एक्सट्रैक्ट फीचर ऑटोमेटिकली, जो द कंप्यूटर CNN network, computational neural network, can learn septal pattern from images, and LTSM learn temporal pattern from the time series, so that no manual feature design is required for the representation data learning. For the representation learning, it required large amount of training data. Feature is not easily interpretable. So that it has some advantages. It can find a complex hidden pattern. It is scalable to a large data set. No dominant domain expertise needed for featuring. State of art performance with the big data. So that in a physiotherapy practice, feature engineering is common because engineering features are easier to interpret it clinically. The step number 6, train, validate, and test splits. We enough. We split the data into training, validation, and test sets. The training data set is maximum 70%, and validation is 15%, and test set is also 15%. In a training set, we teach the model. In validation, we tune the setting. In the test set, we final fair evaluation. We get final fair evaluation. In a training set, the model see the data and adjust its internal parameter to minimize error. The model memorize the pattern here, never use final performance evaluation. Then the validation set has a 15%. It is used to tune hyperparameters are setting and choose between models. It prevent model from being out tuned or training data used repeatedly during development. The test set, it is used once at the end of final performance evaluation, present a purely unseen data. It gives you an honest estimation how the model will perform on a real patient. So that for critical error to avoid, if you test the same data, if you train on, you will get inflated accuracy that will fail in a real patient. This is called leakage, data leakage, and it is a major source of failure in a clinical machine learning studies. Next step is a seventh step is a deployment and ongoing monitoring. When the model is deployed, it faces a real world variability. The patient population change. For example, the real world deployment challenge the patient when we deployed it into a real world, the patient population is differ from the training data. The different age may be occur, the diagnosis may be different, the severity may be different. It has some environmental variability. It can be a home based or the clinical based. The lightning is different from the home or laboratory setting. The floor surface may be different. Maybe there is a device variability, different sensor brands, different phone cameras angles. The temporal drift may be occur. For example, the patient population change over the time, the clinical adaptation and the workload integration barrier may be occur. So that there must be monitoring required for the safety. So we must track the model performance metrics continuously after the deployment. Set a alert for performance drop below the acceptable threshold. We use periodic re-evaluation against the new patient data. The version control must be we document all the version and all the model updates. We regularly compliance and document the all medical devices and regulations. Next part is the part D, evaluation and the clinical safety and clinical application of the machine learning. Why accuracy is important? Why accuracy is not enough? Why it is not enough? Uh, a fail, you are doing it correctly. A false, you are doing correctly. Message, you reinforce unsafe moment pattern. This is why accuracy done alone is not enough in a healthcare. The accuracy is not enough in a healthcare because we must need sensitivity, precision, and F1. What is accuracy? Accuracy is a um, correct prediction over a total prediction. Misleading with the imbalanced classes, 90% accuracy if 90% of the simple are correct. What is the sensitivity? Sensitivity is the recall. It is meaning how many true problem we detect. For example, it has formula true positive over true positive plus false negative. It has high sensitivity if fewer miss error. What is the precision? Meaning when we flag a problem, how often we are corrected. It has formula true positive over true positive plus false positive. What is F1 score? F1 score which balance the precision or recall or sensitivity. Precision into recall over precision plus recall. This is a formula for this. Next one is the outfitting generalization in clinical context. Outfitting mean, what is it mean by outfitting? Outfitting is a model memorized training pattern rather than learning a general principle. It is commonly used when are training only on a healthy young volunteer in a control lab. In a control lab, it is highly training accuracy and much lower test accuracy. It has some clinical risk. Model fail on a real patient with pain, fatigue, and disability. And what is the generalization? Generalization is essential because the physiotherapist patient may be vary by the pain, disability, fatigue, and compensation patterns, so that model perform well on unseen patient in a new environment. It is essential because physiotherapy patient may be vary according to they have own characteristics. How to achieve it? We achieve the generalization by diverse training data sets, cross validation, and external validation cohort. Clinical standard validation on the patient from the different clinical and demographics. So that outfit middle, when it has the training accuracy, we use in a lab, but generalization has less accuracy, training accuracy. It has greater test accuracy, and real patient accuracy is greater of the generalization. But the real patient accuracy and the test accuracy is limited for the outfit model. But generalization has greater. Next one is a real patient example. We have here some evidence-based example, home exercise monitoring system. The research has deployed system that track the low back pain, exercise and sitting posture using inertial sensors and machine learning. We have goal to objectively detect the exercise performance rather than relying on patient self-report, which known to be unreliable in a home rehabilitation setting. So that this is a real physiotherapy application. We use 7 step and get our outcome. Which app we use at the end of which machine learning tool is deployed. First of all, we must know about clinical question. Can we detect whether the patient correctly performed the lumbar exercise at home? This is our clinical question. Then we got data from inertial movement unit sensor on the lumbar spine region and the thigh during the supervised exercise session. Then we have some labels. The physiotherapist label each repetition as a correct and identify the specific error types. And then we pre-processing, we filtering and segmentation per repetition and normalization across the participant. And then feature, we extract some feature like angular velocity, range of motion, temporal feature extracted per repetition. And then we cross validation. This evaluation, in the evaluation, we will perform a cross validation to test generalization across the patient. Then we deployment, integration into a small app providing real-time feedback during home exercise. So that how we can use 7-step pipeline application to this system. It is very easy to deploy in every patient if you have proper 7 steps. So that this type of work show why the machine learning matter in home rehabilitation, monitoring and adherence the moment. So that we easily use this pipeline and we perform a real patient physiotherapy scenario in the machine learning application. We have some activities for our students. We have 3 activities in which the student will identify the machine learning task. I will say a scenario and you will tell me about whether it is classification, regression or clustering. The scenario number 1 is a wearable sensor detect whether a patient is performing a squat correctly or incorrectly. The output is discrete category. It is a correct, incorrect. Each input map into one of these classes. The answer is classification. The next scenario is a model use baseline assessment data to predict the improvement in walking speed after 6 week of stroke rehabilitation. The output is continuous numerical values. 0.3 meter per second improvement, for example. No fixed category exists. Then what type of data is this? This is a regression. The scenario number 3, without any predefined diagnosis, we want a group of patient by their movement strategy during gait analysis. There is a no label. The model find natural grouping into data based on the movement similarity, so that we put into a clustering. This clustering is a unsupervised clustering. We have the summary of the chapter. Today we learn the machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. Machine learn pattern from the data, unlike rule-based system that depend on manually program expert rules. 3 type of learning. We have supervised learning, which are labeled. Unsupervised learning, they have no labels. Reinforcement, it need a trial and feedback system. Each have some specific physiotherapy application. We have 7-step per machine learning pipeline: clinical question, data, and then label, then pre-processing, then feature, then train, attach, and then deployment and monitoring. Then we go through the evaluation. Background accuracy, we use sensitivity, precision, and F1 score. We know that accuracy alone is clinically insufficient and potentially dangerous. Next, we learn about outfitting is a clinical risk, so that a model trained in a lab may be fail in a real patient. Generalization to diverse population is essential for a clinical safety. Model support in a clinician model machine learning tool do not replace the physiotherapist, so that clinical safety depend on validation, appropriate metrics, and ongoing monitoring. So that understanding this pipeline allow you to critically evaluate any artificial intelligence tool you encounter in a physiotherapy practice, from wearable applications to the tele-rehabilitation platforms. We have some exit questions. We have 5 questions to test your understandings. Answer independently before next session. These are the basic from your formative assessment. You put the answer into the comments or chat box. Question number 1, define the machine learning in 1 sentence and how does it differ from artificial intelligence and from rule-based programming. Question number 2, define the supervised learning and provide 1 concrete physiotherapy example, naming the input labels and predicted outcome. Question number 3, why do we split data into separate training and test set? What happened clinically if we test on training data? Question number 4, define outfitting in a clinical sense. Why is a medal trained only unhealthy young lab volunteer likely to be outfit? Question number 5, why is accuracy and insufficient as a evaluation metrics in the healthcare system? Name the two better metrics and explain why they are better. Thank you very much.